Okay, welcome everyone to my kitchen. So here we are with Peter Caizer, who's also known as the Wild Food Messiah.
Grass.
The Wild Grass Messiah, sorry, not the Wild Food, the Wild Grass Messiah. So you're going to find out, we've got wild grasses here, we're going to give you close-ups on them, and Peter's going to explain the benefits of the greatness that we're surrounded by and we're missing out on, that nature is giving us, and we're walking past it every day, we're throwing this stuff away, it's free of charge, and he's going to explain the goodness in it, the wisdom that's in it, the life force energy that's in it, how that's going to help you to raise your vibration up so that you can really start to be connected with not just yourself and the planet, but the whole cosmos that we're a part of.
That's right.
So let me hand over to you, and I'm going to be asking him questions, because as you be thinking stuff,
right, I'm
sure you're going to have a lot of questions. So I'm going to try and act as all the people who are watching to ask any of these questions, because for most people this is a radical shift in how they look at getting nutrients in the body.
And this is what we're about, right?
Yeah.
We're about shifting into the new age, which is the age of Aquarius, and which is already here, but because people are so tied up with their possessions in the past, they're stuck in the age of Pisces. But that's an old vibration that doesn't really match anymore the cosmic vibration that's streaming down from the sun and from the universe, which is captured in the grasses right here as information, that we're going to extract this information and drink it, like you had already cut before we did this thing, and you felt instantly like, wow, I'm already feeling like something is going on, you know, I'm feeling really good.
Yeah.
Right.
So just to go on this, to really break this down and make this understandable by the average person who might be looking at this thinking, what are you talking about? Information coming down.
Right, okay.
So you're meaning that not only does the sun give heat, but the sun gives information that gets captured by the plant.
Wisdom, light.
Or captured by the grass.
Yes.
Wisdom and light. And then what? That's rooted to the earth, and then as that puts the roots and the energy and the wisdom and the information back in that.
And it transforms it, and it holds the information actually in the grass blades through a process that is called photosynthesis. That means it captures the light, transforms it, and stores it as energy right in this grass blade, right? So with this special machine, we have the chance to extract the goodness of this light and the information, because it's high vibrational, into a juice which we make delightful by adding a few little other components that people just juice on their own without the power. Because here's where the power is, okay? And I'll get into that in details as we continue juicing. And for any of you who's really seriously interested, this is the book right there, written by Steve Myrovich about wheatgrass, Nature's Finest Medicine, and there you get all the information, whatever I miss in this demonstration, actually fleshed out to the maximum, with all the research that has been done in the 30s and the 40s of last century, where they figured it out and knew this is the answer to it all. But then the chemical companies came in, took over, pushed it out, and that's the reality we live in now, in a chemical controlled reality. But this is the real reality, and we're bringing it back.
Sure, so we have to get back to nature.
Right.
You know, we're so disconnected. This is why there's so many problems and challenges on the planet at the moment, because we're disconnected from the truth. So when this stuff starts to go in, I know some people are already thinking, hang on a minute, you're going to start eating grass?
No, we're not eating it. We're juicing it. You can't really eat it, because the cow has 4 stomachs to be able to eat it.
Yep.
So we're not equipped to eat it, but we're equipped to develop this juicer to extract the goodness out of it and drink it and get all the benefits. This is our approach.
We had something yesterday where I've had so many people say to me, come on, if you're not eating meat, you're not having fish, not having dairy, can you really be in good shape? Let me tell you now, first of all, world's strongest man now, vegetarian, vegan.
Right.
Top 3 triathletes in the world, vegan. Top 5 natural bodybuilders, they're all vegan. There is a new wave that's happening. And when we were taking something yesterday and eating it, and they say, you try and eat this, you won't be able to eat it. The toughness, the strength that's in this, you can't eat it. That's how strong this stuff is.
The fiber. But even like these little sprouts right here, which is like an embryonic grass blade, which is just about growing to be a grass blade. Already the fiber is so tough you can't break it down.
Yeah.
This little thing, imagine this. This fiber is even like 10 times stronger than this. So you can't break it down. But that's why we have this juicer.
Yeah.
The juicer is doing the job.
So you imagine, like, if we're not strong enough to break it down, and this machine can break it down and pull those nutrients out of it, you imagine what's going on inside. This is not like some wheatgrass that you grow in a pot inside. This stuff has come from nature. It's got the energy from the earth going into it.
Right.
This is hardcore plant power. So let's get into it. So what's this? So this is what sort of
wild
grass is this?
grass. It's definitely a wild cereal grass. Okay, here for a little demonstration for our viewers. As you can see, the cereal grasses all come as with a white, soft blade. That's how you recognize them. And what happens is there's always a shoot shooting out of the center, which is like the freshest grass blade. So this is really the stuff that this is all the same of, but just in massive quantities harvested in the forest out there way away from the city. Okay, so where I go out, you know, every other day because I forage for a couple days, get big bags, keep them in the refrigerator. You can keep them for 2-3 days, as long as you don't juice it. Once you juice it, you want to drink it right away.
And you imagine, like, at the moment you go out, you go to the supermarket, you go to the corner store, you go out and you buy stuff. You imagine going into nature and actually connecting with nature and getting this stuff, coming back instantly, juicing it, drinking it straight away. That is a whole new concept when it comes to getting nutrients in the body, because food is only a shuttle system to be able to get those nutrients in the body. This stuff going in, hardcore nutrients.
Exactly, thank you. This is what I was just going to say. When you have this tray of wheatgrass that they grow and sell in the juice bars, right? It's an immature young plant like this thing that I was holding up. It's an immature young plant right here that is trying to grow into a mature plant, struggling in an overcrowded environment that's not enough mineralized soil. It is not connected to the earth. It's floating on top of the earth, and that's why it has this weird flavor to it, this weirdness of these sugars which are not digested in the growth process of the plant. This stuff comes from a mature plant that's anchored deep in the ground, deep roots, and sucks up the minerals from way down. So it's like way more rich in minerals and the nutrients that the other stuff could never have, you see? This is one of the other key things. Yes, of course. But the really key point which got me into it 25 years ago, I started 25 years ago when I learned about the wheatgrass and learned about, you know, through the Envigmore first. Here's the catch-22. If you look at it, the human red blood cell, hemoglobin, and you look at the chlorophyll molecule, they are almost identical, almost the same, no difference except the core, okay? The human red blood cell hemoglobin has iron at the core and chlorophyll has magnesium at the core. So, but through a process which David Wolf calls biological transmutation, our body can take this green juice and transform it instantly into fresh blood. That means you get a shoot, like a push of like some vitality that rushes in. It's like a light wave that comes into your bloodstream and just refreshes it, and you feel the vibrations going up. You can't be depressed drinking this stuff. It's impossible. Absolutely impossible, because it has a harmonious wavelength in it, which is like what is missing in this world out there, because it's a chaotic world. There's chaos, you know. You're in London on a Saturday night or something, you notice this chaos. All these people are like chaotic, you know, and there's no...
That's not London on Saturday night, that's London 24/7.
Okay, well, I'm not here 24/7 all a long time, I'm just visiting. But what I'm saying is, like, when you go in nature, there's a really beautiful slow wavelength. That's why you feel so nourished and so comfortable when you go out into the nature, you know, and the parks are just a little substitute of real nature, because you really have this big slow vibration. If you're in the city, you're bombarded with all kinds of wavelengths, Wi-Fi, you know, radio signals, television signals. It's all bombarded on you. You know
that, the stress that we're creating ourselves as well.
On top of that,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So how are you going to find some peace in all of that? Well, right there. This is where the peace is. This is what brings you into your center, slows you down, and makes you focus on what's really important. Because all of a sudden you see the light. This is what it's all about, right?
He's a nutter like me, I love it.
Well, you know, they say the light is at the end of the tunnel. I'm just saying, like, make sure it's not an oncoming freight train.
Right, let's get this in there.
Okay, so let's switch up this juicer. So here we go. Boom! See, it does it all alone. This is the twin gear juicer. All you do is you just put the grass in. It juices it all alone, right? So here we go. We just add up massively grass, because that's where the magic is. Then in after it, we have clinging cleaver. It's a clover variety we put in.
So why are you putting this in?
It's good for the lymphatic system, cleansing, purifying the lymphatic system. I love nettles. These are the stinging nettles coming out.
So these are nettles that would sting people?
That would sting people, but because I picked them yesterday, the hairs, the stingy hairs lost their intensity, so they don't really sting much
So when
anymore.
you're picking these, you want to be...
I have a leather glove. I have a leather glove. I have a leather glove and a knife, and I cut them and hold the stinging nettles with leather glove, put them all in a bag, and then I wrap the bag so the sting is going to be like diminished by squishing it together.
You don't want you going out there getting stung. That's
no,
not the objective.
No, exactly. But it's the second most nutritious plant on the planet, which would be extinct if it wasn't stinging. This is the funny part of it. Now, we always add a little dandelion, and look at these beautiful flowers, loaded with lecithin. So it's one of the key sources of lecithin. So
and these are straight out of the garden?
Right out of the garden, right here. You can see them right there. Okay, and here's the leaves of the dandelion. Now, you don't want to put too many of these in because they tend to have a little bitterness, and if you don't want the juice too bitter, you don't want to put too many of those in. So just like 4 or 5 leaves for a liter is good. Here I have some young thistles. Thistles is really good for rebuilding the liver, especially in a city like London where people tend to drink a lot of alcohol in pubs and stuff. You need this stuff. You need thistle right here.
Yeah, it's going to cleanse your liver.
Cleanse your liver, key element, young plant. And then I have something else here, it's called plantain. This actually purifies the lungs for all the smokers of you, okay? Super bitter too, so you just need 1 or 2 leaves of that stuff, okay? And we fill it in with like some more grass. And then one of the things I always like to put in the juice is sprouts. So here I have some mung bean sprouts that are going to go into the juice.
So just explain to people what's happening here. So these were mung beans.
These were mung beans.
Do you want to talk me through the process that you go through?
Yes.
Because most people don't even know about doing this stuff.
Well, the thing is, the sprout is an enzyme factory. What runs our whole system in our life is enzymes, okay? This is the key magic word, was living foods. So, sprouts have like this power of life that's exploding, bursting. It's like a plant bursting into existence, right? So at the core levels in the first 5-6 days, it's loaded with the most enzyme potential possible. And these have a nice flavor to it, so I use these, but I use some lentils too. I use alfalfa if I can get, sunflower sprouts, even if you want to have a little spice to it, a little radish sprout.
It kind of looks like a sperm cell.
It does.
And that tail, that's going to help you move through life.
Exactly.
You want to get that tail. That tail is what brings a normal being to life. And that's why we sprout stuff. Sprouting is key.
Key. And that's
fundamental. You want to make sure you get used to sprouting. See all this stuff at the back here? I don't know if you see all this. All of this stuff at the back here is all beans being sprouted.
And that is because life comes from life. This whole idea that you can get energy out of cooked food is an illusion. You'll never get energy out of cooked food. Energy comes from life. So life begets life. If you want to stay fresh and young, you need to eat live food. So you need to replenish that what you burn up living your day, right? And now to make this flavorful and a little bit thing, we put a little cucumber in here. Where we need this sticker right here. We put a little apple in there. Apple is the most neutral of all fruits. I put a little ginger in there for like flavor component. It's really good. I have a little turmeric I found yesterday in the market. Fabulous. Apple turmeric. Turmeric, most powerful herb out there that is or spice, because it's antibacterial, antifungal, anti-whatever. It kills everything. That's why they're still going in India, because they use a lot of turmeric in their food. Otherwise, they would only be of the thing. I like to add a little pineapple to it, so there's a little pineapple. Okay, but meanwhile, we want to add up more grass, because this is where the power is. It's in the chlorophyll, right? So always massive amounts of grass in there.
Now this looks bizarre to some people, I know, but until you experience what happens when you drink this stuff, you're really not going to understand it.
Exactly.
You know, you can sit there and think that looks weird, you can judge it, but all you're doing is basing something based on your current belief system.
Right.
Which has been, how has that been implanted?
Right.
By a society where there's pain, there's suffering, there's depression, there's sickness, there's disease, there's all this stuff.
Yes.
This is the stuff that's going to cleanse you out. This is the stuff that's going to help to rebuild you and bring in that natural life force energy so that you have it pulsing through your physical system.
Not only that, what it does, it connects you to the moment. This is information of what's really going on in the cosmos now. It's stored here. The information from the light that's beamed down from the cosmos